Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? What is up? And welcome to another episode of Unlocking Excellence with your main man. What's going on? Eric Schwefel. I hope that you are having a fantastic day out there today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whichever one it is for you. Thank you. I appreciate you tuning in to another episode in which we unlock the door, the lock of excellence, and we step in to a new version of ourselves, right? Today is going to be absolutely fantastic. I hope you're ready for it. So, over the last 30 days, I've really taken it upon myself to get into a place of knowing. Okay. So, let me give you the background story, everything that we need to do, and then we're going to dive into this episode. So if you're new here, welcome to the podcast. What is going on? I'm your host. My name is Eric Schwefel. I come to you from Louisiana in the United States, and I am here to help you unlock excellence in your life from day to day, right? I love being the guy who can help out the everyman, right? Like giving you practical solutions to modern day problems, different ways to think about things. There's going to be some hard advice in the sense of go and do this thing. And there are going to be times where I ask you to think and I get you questions, and some things are going to be really out there. Some things they're going to hit close to home, right? So I ask you to take this journey with me, to walk alongside me for the next few minutes. And I hope that you enjoy. And if you do enjoy, then share this bad boy out, right? It is through you. It is through you that I and this podcast am able to grow, and we're able to touch so many more lives, right? I would love it. I would love it for this podcast to reach over 1 million people. Not so that I can say I have a podcast that reaches over 1 million people, but because that means that we're saying things, and I'm saying things that are in line, that are able to help that many, right? And that starts with you. So if you get something out of this, then the thing that I would absolutely love is if you could share it out on whatever platform you choose. Say something that you got out of this. That will be incentive for the next person to check it out. And if it's really special to you and there's a name that pops out to you, and you know this person, they need to hear this, then send it to them, say, hey, this made me think of you. I think you should listen, whatever it is that you want to say, right? And let them know and share this out there. It's through you that this podcast grows. So that's the only thing that I ask, right? We don't have any commercials. We're not monetized in any way. The only price to pay is to share it out, right? So I love you. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you. And let's dive in, okay? So last week I gave you an idea of what was going on, what's been up these last couple of weeks, and we dove into a bunch of different things. We even hit quantum physics, right? That's a friend of mine brought that up. I was like, oh yeah, I guess we did, didn't we? So with that, today we're gonna take it from outside and we're gonna bring it inside, right? And I had a challenge this past month, the past month of July, and I was challenged by one of my coaches to really dive into a place of knowing. Okay. So what I mean by that is there's a lot of things that we understand, and there's a lot of things that we know if we eat well, we're going to get those results, and we're waiting for them to happen. We know if we do X, Y, Z, then this result is going to take place. And the thing that she asked me to do was she asked me to really dive into a place where knowledge becomes a knowing. Okay. And I was like, oh, that is some deep stuff. That is some really deep stuff. So I said, okay, let's go after it. Cause I love a challenge. You know what I mean? I love a challenge. I love having something in front of me. I am the type of guy, you tell me, hey, I want this done in this amount of time. And if like you're somebody I respect and an authority, I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's get it done. Or this is the project that needs to happen, right away. I love being in the trenches. So I said, okay, let's do it. as y'all know, I've mentioned the program that I'm doing. I'm working out twice a day. I think I've lost like close to 25 pounds. In the last 100 days, I've read over 1,000 pages, right? Various books. From there, I've taken a lot of progress photos and I've seen my body change. I've noticed how much more mobile I am, right? So this 30-year period was more for me about reflecting on what has happened in my life and then really letting it sink in that this is what's going on. This is what I've done, right? And it took me a little bit, because I feel like most people, maybe not, when I start to reflect, some of the first things that come to mind are the things that I haven't done, or the things that I didn't want to do, or the things that I put off, the things that I procrastinated, right? The things that I didn't make me feel great. And it was a beautiful thing, right? It's beautiful to know the contrast of this is where I can improve. These are the opportunities that I can create in my life. This is where I want to head, is to improve these situations and these circumstances. Then this is what made all the difference, right? Turning a knowledge into a knowing, because I knew these were the things that I wanted to improve on in life. These are the opportunities, the obstacles, blah, blah, blah. But then it started getting a little bit deeper because, right, like if you focus on those things for too long, you just feel miserable. You feel bad. You feel like this isn't how I want to feel anymore. And it's because of the things in my life that I feel this way. And that's not true, y'all. It's not true. It's not true. Well, to a certain amount it is. Let's give you that. To a certain amount it is. Until you come to the point where you start becoming thankful for what you have. Oh yeah, man. So many different prominent thinkers and people in positions of power and influence. I want to say Jesus said it. I want to say there were others too, but I can't remember offhand the particular names. But find meaning in your suffering, right? There's a purpose and there's an intent. So find that meaning in that purpose, in that intent. And then soon enough, those situations that you thought were terrible and so bad, and you never knew if you were going to get out of them, and why were you placed in this, and all the victim mentality and the victimhood that's just pouring out of you, you're squeezing all of that out. And then you realize how much of a blessing it all is. I may have told this story on another podcast. I apologize if I do. There was a farmer and he went up to see the wise guru at the top of the mountain. And he said, "Farmer, guru, there's just so much in my life." He says, I need more space. And the guru asked him to be more specific. And he says, I have 2 cows that live in the house with me. I have 4 chickens. I have my wife. I have my 3 children. And we have all of our farm animals because I don't have a barn. We have all of our farm animals. They live inside the house with us. And there's no space to be able to do anything. And the guru sits in his silence. He allows the farmer who came to visit to breathe, to let go of the anxiety, to let go of the, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? All that pressure. Just let him sit and breathe. And he told him to go buy a goat. He said, "What? I can't buy a goat." And then the guru says, "Buy 2 goats." So he said, "Yes, guru." And he goes and he buys 2 goats. And then as he goes and he buys the goats, he doesn't understand why he has the goats. He doesn't have as much space as before. And the guru sat and he smiled. And the man, after 2 months, went to go see the guru again. He said, Guru, thank you for your wisdom before. He said, I still need space. I have all of these animals that live with me. I'm unable to move in my own house. And they sat again, and the guru, after sitting in silence, told him, remove the 2 goats. I'll kind of laugh. And then once he removed the 2 goats, the farmer, he was just elated. He had the biggest smile on his face. And he said, oh my gosh, look how much space I have. So sometimes the things happen in our life that end up looking like they can be a pain, when in actuality, they are a huge, huge blessing, right? Because they help give us another perspective. So with that reflection, it helped me to see how blessed I really was in my life with everything, starting with my own body, right? Having toes, having feet, having the ability to walk, having healthy knees, healthy hips, healthy veins, healthy skin. I have fine motor movement. I have hands, I have arms, I have an elbow, I have shoulders. I'm able to jump. I'm able to walk, right? Like, all these things started to come into my awareness of how grateful I am for the conditions of my life and the circumstances in my life currently. So, right off the bat, instead of saying, oh, I need to make more money, or I need to be leaner, or I need this, or I need that, or I need to to clean the house, or I need to do all this stuff that I was focusing on, right? That didn't bring in joy. It started to change, and it started to see a whole nother perspective of how things are working for me, right? And how they're changing. I started to see how much I actually did instead of didn't do. And I noticed, like, immediately my demeanor changing, right? Wasn't like, I could tell my face wasn't as like hard and scrunched. It was much more relaxed. Like I said, obviously released a lot of weight. And people took notice. So not only am I myself, do I feel lighter, but people, they notice that kind of thing in your body. So I went ahead and I told my coach about that, right? And great response. It was awesome. And one thing that she encouraged me to do, which I'm looking up her response right here. All right. So she said, awesome job, because you followed through. That was a big thing. She challenged me. It was over a month, right? And most people, they could forget, or they just didn't want to be held accountable. So that was a huge thing. So make sure, here's a lesson. Make sure when you say that you're going to do something, whether it's for yourself or whether it's for someone else, that you actually follow through. That plays a huge role in integrity. That plays a huge role in congruency and alignment within yourself. You got to be able to, you gotta love yourself. You know what I mean? And you got to be aligned in order to support the future and the outcome that you want to create. Because if you're not going to be able to get the outcome, because you're not congruent. So focusing on your wins, it's going to be inevitable that you find things that you want to improve on in life, and that's okay. Acknowledge those things. Those things need to be brought to the surface. Otherwise, you're just denying reality, right? Like, this could be better. That's fine. The thing to do is to watch out for the judgment that comes along with that, right? It's the judgment that holds you back. That's the thing that distracts you from actually improving. You can't be improving if you're judging. Does that make sense? Right? Like, if your focus is on judging, then that means that your focus can't be on something else. So with that, she encouraged me to do this reflection each month. I was like, that's a really good idea. I try to do it every week. And I do like to learn my own lessons, right? However, I don't have a habit of every month checking what the previous month was like, at least not structurally, right, in my mind, but not writing down, not actually seeing it. So that's something that I encourage for you if you're not already doing it, is to do a weekly review. That's huge. A daily review is great, right? If you can do a daily review, see what you got to improve on, where you got to have your time, plan your day. A weekly review is awesome, awesome, awesome. And then from there, right, it's going to be a monthly review, a quarterly review, a 6-month review, a year review. It just depends on what works for you. Doing those things, though, they're just going to keep you accountable, especially if you have goals in mind. And it allows you to see what really matters to you too, because you can look at your actions. So if you're looking to work out, if you're looking to get into better shape, and then you do your monthly review and you see that you've only worked out 2 or 3 times, then guess what ends up happening? You either see why you are improving, or you see why you are not improving. You were given evidence, you were given data, and then that helps you to grow, or it helps you to see that that's not the thing that you're interested in really. And then you move forward, right? And you figure it out. So with that, I love how she said this. Double dog dare you. And if you choose to post here, always do tag me. I want you to partake in this amazing ride of you getting to know you. And just see what unfolds for you as you do this. And a little secret, the fortune is in the follow through. She said, most people do not, that was all in caps, follow through, ... Be one of the few who do. And your life will be, parentheses, already is, and parentheses, stellar. This just made me feel good. You're amazing. Keep shining and inspiring. So I know you're curious. What was my response? I'm going to chew on this for a little bit, coach. In short, though, I'm going to follow through. I'm going to keep it up. And then a little gif of a fist bump. So with that, reflect, my friend. Reflect, reflect, reflect. Get to know yourself. Get rid of the judgment. Get rid of that. I should have did this. I should have did that. I could have done it better this way. If only. Get rid of all that business. Okay? You don't need it anymore. We're operating at a whole nother level now. All that stuff, all what it did before, held you back. Held you back. Held you back. Now, we making choices that catapult you forward. That's right. Not just one step, not 2 steps, not 3 steps. We going 10, 15, 20, 30 steps at a time. Catapulting. Exponential growth. We hockey sticking it. A little bit of time, then skyrocket to the moon. Right? Think, mirror, reflect. Reflect. When something's not going your way, life is reflecting you. It's not testing you. Cool? Cool. All right. That was a good one. I appreciate you listening. Hey, if you made it this far, you are awesome. And you have growth as one of your top values. I know that because growth is one of my top values. So in order to help others grow, because that's what this is about, right? It's one little light, one candle can light 1,000 candles. It can light 10 million candles. So my candle, I'm sharing it with you. If you could share that light, share that fire, share that spark with another person. If it's just one little message, hey, check this out. If it's tagging somebody online and writing a little review, if it's rating and reviewing this podcast, Awesome. Choose one of those for me, please. Share this out and let's keep lighting up the world. It's a dark world out there, man. It's a dark world. So that's why it's so important to shine our lights from the hilltop so that all can see. And please, my friend, help me do that. All right. You are unstoppable. I love you. I hope you had a great day. And thanks for unlocking excellence with me. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.